Good evening, Vara.
Hi, Lynn. Just need to do something techy there. 1 second.
Welcome, everyone. Nice to feel your presence, even though we can't necessarily see you. Always have a nice meditation together with everyone on Monday night. So looking forward to that. Usually lasts me a couple of days, Monday night's meditation. You know, next morning meditation feels really good. Next evening one works nicely. Nothing like a collective meditation to really.
No, you're right. And maybe a bit heavy to say, but I was reading something and then it said something about the 6 enemies of the soul.
Oh.
Yeah, so the pride and anger and all this sort of stuff. So they have a full-time job for us to not do the right thing. And then, and then on Monday we have the evening meditation, and then we're pretty good, as you said, for a couple of days.
Yeah.
But then between the fight of the positivity and the negativity, we tend to lose. So
yeah, and it can be simple things that just help you slide, which is, you react to something, going a little busy on the right side, futuristic side, then you think, oh, why did I do that? And you go a bit left side if you feel bad, you do.
And this sort of the negativity in some sense doesn't come and says, I am the bad person. Not like that. It usually sneaks in like,
I'm a good.
Oh, you have to iron that shirt that you haven't ironed in 30 years. Oh no, I didn't mean to say that.
No, it's all right.
So Lynn, I found a speech, a really good speech that's about 16 minutes today.
Nice.
So I thought we could play that. But before that, I was thinking we should talk a little bit about some of the concepts that we'll see. We generally hear in Sahaja Yoga. So I'll share a little screen and explain about that. Give me 1 second. Okay. So can you see my screen, Lynn?
Yes. Yeah, you've got a
So
chart.
often we talk about ego and superego in Sahaja Yoga. And superego is not a term that is in the general figure of speech.
Vernacular.
So it is borrowed from psychology.
Okay, that's where it comes from.
And I sort of struggled quite a bit in the beginning in Sahaja Yoga on what it meant. Like you think that there is ego, and superego is
Yeah, you think it's an ego.
Yeah. And then I said,
ego, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah, it is.
Slow down ego, where you put yourself.
Like, I'm not egoistic. I'm even better than egoistic. I'm
I'm way above ego.
sort of thing. I thought this analogy might help. We often use the car analogy.
Yes, I like to use the brake and the accelerator.
Correct. So, but if you see in the chart, there is this the blue just above number 6. There is a blue thing and there is a yellow thing.
Yep.
So the blue thing is the superego. Would that be right? Yeah.
Yep.
So in the car analogy, let us say, you want to go somewhere. So you do the ignition and then you hold the steering.
Yeah.
So the fact that you want to go somewhere and reach to a point, that's your ego, the good part of the ego.
Yeah.
Motivating you to do something. Right?
Yeah.
Then you have the dashboard. In the dashboard, there is this speedometer and everything.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then you see your ego sees the speed limit, right? So let's say the speed limit is 60, right? And then you're driving, and there's a bit of traffic there. You can't really go 60, even though the speedometer says even though the speed limit says it's 60. You are on 40, and you are like, oh, the the speed limit says 60. My speedometer is on 40, and it's sort of, oh, when can I go to 60?
Yeah.
When can I go to 60? And then that is the action that superego does to you, where you have this set of rules that you were taught as a kid, or as an adult or whatever, and then you have the steering, but you're almost shaking because you have to follow that particular rule all the time.
Yeah.
So when somebody asked this Shri Mataji this question, why do this ego and superego cross there? And she said, oh, it's very common sense, because they're part of the same thing. So they have to cross to balance each other.
Oh.
So, like, let's say there are two lines going, which is sort of part of the same thing, let us say, and they're going, and you want them to meet. If they don't cross each other, they don't meet.
Yeah, true.
And that's how she explained it. So superego is that sort of set of rules or conditionings in the terminology we use, that we want to really not let these rules take over our actions. Like, in that sense, yes, there is a speed limit, which is 60, but I really cannot go 60 because there's a lot of traffic. So I'll use my discretion to take the speed as it is possible.
So you're actually using the right side to modify the left side. You're interacting between the two, is it not?
It is, and you're not letting the left side all the time overrule your right side too.
Yeah.
It's like it's sort of that balance that you reach to decide whether you want to let the rules that were taught to you from your childhood to be followed in that instance or not, rather than just being constantly overly aware of this sort of thing.
I guess you've got to be in the present as opposed to those rules you've been following, because maybe there's been an accident. Maybe you all have to get off the road and go on the side.
Correct. That's it.
Some accident, so that's why you've got to be in the now rather than those
That's it.
rules. Yeah.
So that is I thought a kind of decent analogy for the superego. Perhaps I should articulate it better, but it'll come.
No.
So should we just get into it and listen to Shri Mataji's speech?
Yes, and let's do that. Nice.
So for those of you who have been coming, let's raise our Kundalini and take Bandhan. And if anybody is new, you can just put both your both your palms in your lap.
And maybe if you're on Zoom, you'll be able to see.
Yep. If you can follow Lynn.
You're not. And the third time, we do 3 knots. It's spreading vibrations over our entire subtle system. I think that's it.
Before we start, we can put our right hand on top of our head. Mondays are usually hard, coming back from a good break of 2 days. Even though we worked 100%, we feel like 200%. So all these external factors are trying to make us feel tired and maybe gain a bit of self-pity. And let's ignore all that and try and bring our attention into ourselves. So hand on top of the head. And we can pray, Mother, please let my attention go within. Mother, please let me experience the peace of my spirit. And bring your hand back to the lap and just enjoy that quiet state for a few seconds. We're bringing ourselves into a balanced state so we can absorb all the advice that Shri Mataji is going to give us for the next 15 minutes or so.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to know that the truth cannot be manipulated, cannot be created, cannot be conceptualized by your mind or by your imagination. It is what it is and has been and will be. So the truth is very simple. Very simple thing it is. But you have to have a very scientific outlook. To keep your minds open. Because this is the knowledge of the roots. What you see outside and what you know about it is the knowledge of the tree. And should accept whatever I am saying as a hypothesis, and if it is proved, then as honest people you have to accept it. The truth is very simple, that all this universe, this cosmos, is looked after, is nourished, is guided by all-pervading divine power, which in Sanskrit language you can call it as Parama Chaitanya, and in Quran it's called as Ruh. In every great scriptures it is described as a formless energy that looks after, guides everything that is living, works out every balancing of this universe, of this earth. Only at the level of human awareness, we have freedom to choose, because we have to rise to a higher awareness of complete freedom. That is why we commit mistakes. Doesn't matter. After all, we are human beings, we are not gods. So if we commit mistakes, it makes no difference whatsoever for your ascent to that higher level. And the higher level is the second truth, that you are not this body, not this mind, not your ego, nor your conditionings, but you are pure spirit. That is what you have to be. This can only work out through the living process of evolutionary ascent. You have become a human being, and now you have to become a higher human being. As a higher human being, you develop a new kind of awareness on your central nervous system. Whatever we have achieved in our evolution, we feel it on our nervous system. Like if you take a dog or a horse through a place which is very filthy, dirty, smelling, it can pass through. But human beings cannot. Human beings have the sense of color, of beauty, of so many things. They have achieved through their evolutionary process. But still, the ascent is necessary because we do not know the absolute truth. Whatever we know is partially based on our experiences and our mistakes. But sometimes we are so self-opinionated that we don't want to say that we have done mistakes, or not do we want to see that we have to seek higher. But there are a category of people, so many of them, which William Blake has beautifully described as men seeking God. It's very simple. The people who are seeking the truth. And these are a special category who become sages. And these sages, he says, will have power to make others the sages. C.S. Lewis has described, all over the world people have described about these great things going to happen in these modern times. Especially in India, there was the pioneer, or say the one who really the originator of astrology. Bhrigu Muni has written a book called Nadi Granth, in which he has described Sahaja Yoga very clearly. And he has said that such a time will come when people will get their realization, Sahaj. Saha means with, Ja means born. Born with you is the right to be united, yoga, with the divine. The modern yoga that we have got is a wee bit of a wee bit. It has nothing to do with reality. To know the reality, to feel the all-pervading power is the right of every human being. That's all is called yoga. And the another word, another meaning of yoga is yukti, meaning the deftness. The deftness to know how to work out this power, and also to know the principles of divine laws. But that is not mentally. It's not mentally. It is on your nervous system. In the Buddhist psychology, in the Buddhist philosophies, is described as bodha. Bodh doesn't mean that you feel it as a kind of a thinkable stuff, but you feel it on your central nervous system. It's not some sort of sensationalization, but it is actualization. That is bodha. Even the word Vedas come from the word Vida. Vida also means on the central nervous system. The reality is to be felt on our central nervous system. Now we have here Vedas. this mechanism built in. In the Bible, it's known as the tree of life. Krishna has also described it as a tree of life which is upside down, the roots of which are in the head. This is the tree of life described in most of the scriptures in different names. Like in Tao, he refers to Yangtze River as Tao, and that Tao is nothing but this Kundalini, which is the power which enlightens this tree of life. This Kundalini is a power which resides in the triangular bone, known as sacrum. Sacrum in Latin language means sacred. That means the Greeks knew in ancient times that this is a sacred bone which has something sacred in it. We all have this residual power within us known as Kundalini. Of course, in the modern times, people have created all kinds of myths about the Kundalini, saying it is very dangerous, one should not do this and all that. It's all modern. But in the ancient books, even up to the time of Kabira, they have all described it very clearly. Nobody has said it is dangerous. So maybe that some of the fake ones wanted to create a fear because they didn't want people to know the reality. They must have created this kind of a myth saying that it is dangerous to awaken the Kundalini. But this is the mother, your individual mother, who is going to give you your self-realization. As your mother has taken all the troubles, labor problems upon herself, she takes up all the problems that you have, and you get a very smooth landings as self-realized souls. This has to happen because it is so vital. It is so vital that it has to be easy. For example, for our breathing, if we had to go to the library and read books and do all kinds of things, we would not have existed. In the same way, it is such a vital thing that this Kundalini has to rise. Of course, in the beginning of life, this tree of life had very few flowers. But gradually, now I feel it's a blossom time. There are so many seekers who are seeking the truth, and it is working wonders. In one day lecture, in a program like this, it's very hard to explain everything about Kundalini. As it is, I must have spoken thousands of times, and there must be at least 4,000 tapes in English language alone. I've been working for 20 years to establish Sahaja Yoga all over the world. And now there are 40 nations who have come to Sahaja Yoga. And I must pay full respect to Russians, whom I found to be the best people for spirituality. The best people for spirituality. Whatever they might have been under, whatever might have happened to them, one thing, they didn't waste their time much. They were all very well educated, very solid, sensible, wise people. And the way they took to Sahaja Yoga, I was myself surprised. We just arrived there and they were all in thousands. And how did they manage to get their realization so fast and to establish it? Is really, even the Indians should feel ashamed of themselves. Because this is the heritage of India. This is the heritage of India. But we had 300 years the Britishers ruling us perhaps, so we all have become very westernized perhaps. But I just don't understand that how these people who have never talked of God, religion, thank God for that also sometimes, because religion is also nowadays man-made, has conditioned people too much. And they had no such fake gurus there roaming about. And they just jumped into it. It's such a remarkable thing to see a country so far away, kept away from all the theologies, jumping into spirituality so fast. Even, of course, in India we have lots of people who are Sahaja Yogis all over, I must admit, because after all this is their heritage. And also in India, we should say there are 3 doctors who have done MD MD in Sahaja Yoga. They have tried to prove that with Sahaja Yoga means the Kundalini awakening, you can get rid of psychosomatic diseases, you get better health. Also, you can get epilepsy and all such mental diseases cured. They have got MD for that. There are 7 doctors in London who are trying to collect all the data about it, and they also want to do their MDs. Also, there's in Cambridge University, there's a gentleman who is already a professor of philosophy, is doing a research on Sahaja Yoga. So, it is coming to the level of the intellectuals and the scientists. But scientists have to go a little deeper if they have to see any structure in a microscope. In the same way, if we have to know about these things, we have to have our self-realization. Without our self-realization, we cannot understand anyone. That's what Kabira said, what should I do? The whole world is blind. What should I tell them? The whole world is deaf. Meaning is that the level of their understanding has not reached that subtle side. And that subtle side has to be tapped. And that is very simple. Nowadays, I have seen that people get realization without any difficulties. In Sydney, in Perth, in Brisbane, of all the place, Cairns. I was so surprised. Another surprise came from Cairns, which was something just like Russia. Something out of the blue, it exploded. Such beautiful people live there, so human, so natural. I couldn't understand how in certain places people are so simple, not complicated, not conditioned, and not arrogant. They have such a simplicity of understanding, and they just take to it so easily. Now, of course, in Australia also we have lots of Sahaja Yogis who are working it out, but in the early times we didn't have very good leaders who were, I should say, very well motivated towards Sahaja Yoga, and so it was going up and down, but now I hope it will be again re-established here. But one thing, we should be very honest with ourselves, that if we have to have our benevolence, we have to honest ourselves. If you are enamored by somebody who claims too much, talks too much, and gives you big lectures, and just says, all right, take this mantra, or do this and do that, all kinds of nonsensical things, you first must go and see the person who has been to him. What is he doing? What has he got? Has he got any spiritual powers or not? Or just because he is going to that place, you must also go. Another problem in the West, I find, I must say, is very funny, is that they think that if something is free, then it is nonsensical. It's very, very surprising. I went to Boston and they asked me, how many Rolls Royces you have? So the people told, she doesn't take any money, how can she have Rolls Royces? So we are not interested, it's no business. I mean, God is not a business and divinity is not a business. This we must understand, that you can't pay for it. How much do we pay to the Mother Earth when she produces all these beautiful things for us? In the same way, how much are we going to pay for our spirituality? Leave alone anything. How much do you pay to Christ? On the contrary, you sold him out.
That was particularly stinging at the end.
Yes.
So, something that has happened in the past, so we don't have to really beat ourselves. And often something that is not even related to us, we keep that guilt in us that stops our growth. Perhaps the self-realization process you can take us through, Lynn, that can get us rid of these things.
Yeah, and just establish that connection with our mothering energy. So just as the mother and the baby have that relationship to grow, we need to keep that relationship with our own mothering energy. So maybe we can just, if you've got our feet flat on the earth, or if we're sitting on the ground, that's also good. Just to keep our hands open on our lap, open. And we can close our eyes while we do this, but just if you need to watch, then I'll just show you where we'll put our hands. But we might just start here at this hip level, and we'll just ask, Farah's got the slides for you, but I'm going to start from number 3. So we'll go from that hip area, we'll go up to the stomach, then we'll go to the heart, we'll go to the neck, where we get rid of all that guilt we might be feeling. Then we'll go up to the head and forgive, to clear that center, do that from the back as well. And then, of course, to go into meditation and also to establish our self-realization, we'll go up to the top of our head, which is that last chakra that we're entering into for our meditation. So just taking a few deep breaths, our hands open on our lap, feet are flat on the ground, no shoes on, of course. If you've got any tight things on, you can loosen them up so you can feel relaxed. And just taking a few deep breaths, we can take our attention inside. Let's take that right hand onto the left hip, just where the body and the leg join. And this is adjacent to where our mothering energy, that's Kundalini. It's the Sanskrit word for the coiled energy within all of us. And let's just ask, Mother, please awaken my pure desire. Please give me the pure knowledge of myself. Really asking from your heart these questions. Mother, please give me the pure knowledge of myself. And that is the pure desire within us. And then taking that right hand up to the upper part of the stomach, so that's number 4 on the chart, if you're just trying to follow from the hand movements there. So this is an area of our mastery of ourselves. So here we want to affirm, now that we've awakened our mothering energy, we're going to affirm that, Mother, I am my own master. I am my own guru. So we want to look inside for our actions and the way we lead our life. Mother, I am my own master. So we don't have to feel bad about not following the crowd. We'll listen to ourselves. I am my own master. Then we'll come up to the heart on the left-hand side. That's our right hand we're using here. And we're going to affirm here that I am the pure spirit. I'm not this body. I'm not the mind. I am the pure spirit. And let's come up to the neck area. So this center here gets squeezed if we feel guilty about things. So we don't have to feel guilty with anything we've done. We're in the present now. And we can clear that feeling of guilt that keeps collecting here simply by saying, Mother, I am not guilty. And say that quite a few times, just to clear out all the habit we have of feeling guilty about things. We're human, we make mistakes, and we are the spirit, so we don't have to hold on to anything that makes us feel bad. I'm not guilty. Mother, I am not guilty. And now up to the forehead. So we're going to drop the forehead into the palm of our hand, holding it firmly either side at our temples. And here we're going to say to our mother in energy, Mother, I forgive everyone. And I forgive myself. So this will give us that gap between the thoughts. If we just forgive and let those worries, things done to us that have no meaning, let them go back to where they came from. I forgive everyone, and I forgive myself. And let's give that a double clearing by tipping our head up and putting the hand round to the back of our head. So we're resting our head tilted back. And here we're just going to ask our mother energy, Mother, if I've made any mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. So we'll really clear that head out with this request. The lovely thing is that divine energy, mothering energy, just wants to look after us. And we are forgiven for everything. If I've made any mistakes, please forgive me. And then coming up with our head a little bit tilted forward, we can put the palm of the hand onto the center of the top of our head at that fontanelle area, the soft part when we were a baby, and just rotating the scalp. So a little massage you're giving to the area. Mother, please give me my self-realization. It's your first time doing this. Mother, please strengthen and establish my self-realization. Really desiring from your heart to establish your self-realization. Mother, please establish, strengthen my self-realization. Just bringing the hand up a little. See if you can feel that flow coming from the top of your head. You can even with that right hand raise up more of that energy from the base of the spine up to the top of your head. So we're trying to get more of our mothering energy through that central channel. But hopefully we've cleared a bit more now with those affirmations, and then just feeling again on the top of our head. And try with the other hand, bringing it close, taking it a little bit up. And then just keeping your attention there when you might be feeling either some warm or some cool, ultimately cool, but it might be warm as clearing out that central channel. Let's just try and hold on to that silence between the thoughts. If you feel your attention wanders, you can catch the thought and say, not this thought. Or if it's too late, it's already wandered, then you can just come back to the request to Mother, please give me the silence and the peace.
We can keep ourselves in that state that we are in at the moment and continue to meditate. Let's put both our hands on our lap. Put our right hand on the heart. And here, we say this affirmation to remind ourselves that at the core of our existence, we are the pure spirit. We say, Mother, I am the pure spirit. I am none of these burdens that I carry on my spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Let's say this affirmation a few times in our heart until we identify with our spirit deeply. Mother, I am the pure spirit. The beautiful Sanskrit word for the spirit is Atma. You can also say, Mother, I am the Atma. I'm not this mind, I'm not this intellect. I'm not the sight I see. I'm not the hearing that I hear. I'm not the speech that I speak. I'm the pure spirit. We put our right hand on the left side of the neck. Nicely let the center of your palm touch the left side of your neck. Here we let go of all the guilt that we may have gathered over years. Here we ask, Mother, please help me so I get rid of all my guilt. Mother, as a pure spirit, I cannot be guilty and I'm not guilty. Mother, by your grace, please let all the burdens of guilt be washed away. Mother, I am not guilty at all. We place the center of our palm on the forehead and we hold our forehead in our hand, bend a little bit forward. Here we say, I forgive everyone, including myself. This includes your family members, the people who you work with, the people who you interact with, and also your ancestors. If for some reason you feel that your ancestors have committed some mistakes and you carry that guilt on yourself, you cannot be free, and because you're the pure spirit, you must be free. So we all, from the bottom of our hearts, say this: Mother, I forgive. I forgive unconditionally. If your brain is saying, I can forgive everyone except someone, then we're not really doing it right. We have to forgive everyone without any conditions. Mother, I forgive everyone unconditionally. Mother, I forgive. I forgive. I forgive. And bring our hand back to the lap. And let our attention go a little bit above, on top of our head, beyond our forehead. And this is the place where all our three channels and seven centers and ego and superego all integrate. And here we can put our hand on top of it and we ask, Mother, please establish my self-realization. Mother, please let my spirit unite with the power that created it. This unity is also called yoga. So now let's keep our attention on top of our head and meditate quietly for a few more minutes. Now, while keeping your eyes closed, just observe how you're feeling on top of your head. You don't have to move your body, just observe. Also, for a moment, reflect the state of your heart. Hopefully, you feel much more at peace compared to when we started at 6 o'clock. That's all I had for tonight, Lynn.
Nice meditation. I guess we can raise our Kundalini and put a bandhan on.
Sounds good.
Which most of you all know what to do. Left hand goes up, right hand winds around, tying a knot 3 times, once for each of our channels. That should have been 2 knots then, maybe did 1, that's all right. And the third time we do 3 knots. And then the bandhan, just putting those lovely vibrations we might be feeling in our hands now over our energy centers, giving ourselves a good chance of holding on to that nice, relaxed feeling we might be having a couple of days. Thank you, Vara. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Of course, if you have any questions, we can give you the chat ability, or if you have any feedback, feel free to do that. Otherwise, we can put on a bit of music to set you on your way. Meditate for a bit longer if you feel. And good night, all. I'll put on that chat. Oh, yeah, chat's on.
I just put it on, yeah.
Good job. And otherwise, here's some music. Good night, and look forward to next time.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining. We'll close off now. Good night.